Mr. Johnson wasted no time. "I need a favor," he said, his voice smooth. "A simple task, really." And in return, "I'll give you enough money to solve all your problems." Sarah's stomach shrunk. What kind of tax? He leaned back in his chair, studying her. "I need you to bring Lisa to me. Just bring her here, and the money is yours." It all started with a decision. 2 years ago, Sarah, a girl from a wealthy family, decided to gain financial freedom. So, she traveled all the way from Lagos to a small town in Delta State. She had only her savings, as her parents seized her ATM card and the bank had blocked her account on her parents' instructions. She was visiting Delta for the first time, but was determined to live Delta an independent woman. She looked for a cheap hotel to lodge in for the night, and while she was still thinking of how to go about her hunting, the hotel hostess came in to check up on her. Lisa, the hotel hostess for the night, felt it would be nice to bring some tea to the lady who just lodged in. And then they get talking as if they've known each other for a long time. "Do you know of any cheap apartment around here?" Sarah asked. Lisa smiled and said, "Oh, are you new in Delta? Well, getting an apartment in this small town takes weeks or even months. But if you want to get an apartment in a few days, I can share the contact of an agency with you. But their fee is almost the price of the cheap apartment." Oh. Sarah quite understood what Lisa meant, but did not know how to tell her she did not have enough money. And as if reading Sarah's mind, Lisa said, "You can stay at my place if you don't have anywhere else to stay till you get an apartment." And that was how Sarah and Lisa became roommates and best friends. Sarah sat at the window of their small apartment, staring at the eviction notice in her hands. Independency was not as she imagined, but Lisa has been the one paying most of the bills without complaining. The words, blood as tears filled her eyes. How did it come to this? She had always been so hardworking, so determined to make a good life for herself and Lisa. But life in their small town had never been easy, and lately it had become downright impossible. Lisa entered the room with a bright smile. "Hi, Sarah. I brought us some coffee. I figured we could use a break." Sarah quickly wiped her eyes and forced a smile. "Thank you, Lisa, for always thinking of me." Lisa handed a cup and sat down. "Of course. We are in this together, remember? No matter what." Sarah nodded, her heart heavy with guilt because she had promised to look after Lisa after discovering that Lisa was just an orphan. Later that day, as Sarah walked to the local store, she ran into Mr. Johnson. He was a wealthy businessman known for his fame, despite having only a furniture store. "Ah, Sarah, just the person I wanted to see," he said, his smile not reaching his eyes. "Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson." Sarah replied politely, trying to keep her distance. "I hear you are having some financial troubles," he said, leaning in closer. "Perhaps I can help you." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. "Ow!" He smiled, a glint of something sinister in his eyes. "I have a proposal for you. Meet me at my shop tomorrow and we can discuss the details." That night, Sarah could not sleep. She knew Mr. Johnson's reputation and doubted his intentions were honorable. but desperation clanged at her. She could not bear the thought of losing their home and leaving Lisa without a place to stay. The next day, Sarah found herself outside Mr. Johnson's shop, her palms sweaty and her heart racing. She took a deep breath and walked in. Mr. Johnson wasted no time. "I need a favor," he said, his voice smooth. "A simple tax really, and in return, I'll give you enough money to solve all your problems." Sarah's heart chunked. What kind of tax? He leaned back in his chair, studying her. "I need you to bring Lisa to me. Just bring her here, and the money is yours." Sarah's blood ran cold. "Why? What do you want Lisa for?" He shrugged. "That is not your concern. Do we have a deal?" Sarah felt like she was drowning. The weight of her decision pressed down on her. She left Mr. Johnson's office without giving him an answer, her mind racing. Could she really betray her best friend for money? Over the next few days, Sarah's financial situation worsened. The eviction notice deadline loomed closer and she felt trapped. Mr. Johnson's offer echoed in her mind, tempting her with its promise of relief. One evening, as Sarah and Lisa sat together, Lisa looked at her with concern. "Sarah, is everything okay? You seem so distant closely." Sarah forced a smile. "I am fine, just a little stressed." Lisa reached out and squeezed her hand. "We'll get through this together, just like we've always have." The days passed in a blur of anxiety and guilt for Sarah. She could not shake the weight of Mr. Johnson's offer. The eviction notice sat on the kitchen counter like a tickling time bomb, reminding her that time was running out. She tried to focus on work, but her mind kept drifting back to the preposition. One evening, as Sarah was closing up the small coffee shop she worked in, she received a call from her landlord. "Sarah, I am sorry, but if you don't come up with the rent by the end of this week, I'll have no choice but to throw you and Lisa out of my house," said the landlord. Sarah felt her heart sink. "Please, Mr. Thompson, give me a little more time. I'll find a way." But when she hung up, reality hit her hard. She had no way of coming up with the money. Her paycheck barely covered foodstuff and utility. As she walked home, she saw a black Jeep parked outside her apartment. It was Mr. Johnson, and he was waiting for her. "Evening, Sarah," he said, with a sly smile. "Thought about my offer?" Sarah hesitated. "I don't know, it is not right." Mr. Johnson's expression hardened. "Right or wrong, it is your only option. Think of it as a business transaction. You bring Lisa to me, and your financial problems disappear. Simple." Sarah felt a pang of fear. "What do you want with her?" He waved a dismissive hand. "Nothing you need to worry about. Just bring her to me. You have until tomorrow night." That night, Sarah could not sleep. She tossed and turned, her mind racing with fear and guilt. She thought of all the times that Lisa had been there for her, through thick and thin, but the thought of losing their home and of leaving Lisa homeless was unbearable. The next morning, Sarah woke up to find Lisa in the kitchen, humming as she made breakfast. Sarah's heart ached. How could she betray someone who was so kind and so trusting? As they ate, Lisa once again noticed Sarah's troubled expression. "Sarah, are you sure you are okay? You've been so stressed lately." Sarah forced a smile, just worried about the rent, that is all. Lisa reached across the table and squeezed her hand. We all figure it out, we always do. Sarah felt a lump in her throat. She did not deserve Lisa's trust, not with the terrible decisions she was about to make. She spent the day in a daze, trying to convince herself that what she was doing was for the best. But deep down, she knew it was wrong. That evening, as they sat on the couch watching a movie, Sarah's phone buzzed. It was a message from Mr. Johnson, and it read, "Tomorrow night, don't forget." Sarah's stomach shut. She had to do it. There was no other way. The next day, Sarah tried to act normal, but every moment felt like a countdown to betrayal. She avoided looking at Lisa, afraid her friend would find out the guilt in her eyes. By evening, she could barely breathe. "Lisa," she said, her voice trembling, "can you come with me to the coffee shop tonight? I left something important there." Lisa looked up. "Sure, but why at night? Why this night?" Sarah swallowed hard. I just, I just, I just need you to come with me, please." Lisa nodded, her trust unwavering. "Okay, if it's that important, I'll come with you." As they walked to the coffee shop, Sarah's mind raced. She felt like a puppet, every step bringing her closer to the moment of betrayal. When they reached the coffee shop, Sarah led Lisa to the backyard where Mr. Johnson was waiting. "Sarah, what is going on?" Lisa asked, a hint of worry in her voice. Before Sarah could respond, Mr. Johnson's men appeared, grabbing Lisa. "What are you doing?" Lisa screamed, struggling against them. Sarah felt tears streaming down her face. "I am sorry, Lisa. I had no choice." Lisa's eyes widened with shock and betrayal. "How could you, Sarah? How could you?" Mr. Johnson handed Sarah a thick envelope. "It's a pleasure doing business with you." As they took Lisa away, Sarah collapsed to the ground, the envelope clenched in her hands. She had the money, but it felt like blood money. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this story. If you want to see the part 2 of this story, please do well to subscribe, share this story, like this story. Till next time, bye.